I got ice in my veins. Walk like a champion, champion, champion. I'm so cold-blooded, I fear nobody. Ain't no letting down, I won't let you down. 'Cause I got ice in my veins. I talk like a champion, like a champion. I'm so cold-blooded, I'm so cold-blooded. I fear nobody, I fear nobody. I walk like a champion.
All right. So, speaking of answers, now that everything is done, right? For these two teams in the finals, what do you do? I think the Bucks is pretty obvious, honestly.
Oh, you run this back.
You try and bring back as much of the same team as you can because, I mean, for the most part, I don't think they have any really big free agents.
Nope.
I think Dante DiVincenzo is like their biggest free agent right now.
And he was hurt most of their playoff runs. So,
yeah. And then for the Suns, Chris Paul is a free agent. If you're Chris Paul, after the season you had, and after the finish to the season, also them celebrating, and they just show the camera to Book, and Book just going, "Damn, that shit had me weak."
Bro, I can only imagine. I can only imagine what it feels like. Like I've lost like playoff games before for like basketball and lacrosse, but like I can only imagine like being at that stage, losing, and like I don't know what type of emotions.
Being the guy for your team.
Yeah, like. Just those emotions have to be like just like feel like boulders.
See, that's what I thought. I thought it would have been more emotion, and he just looked and literally just like, "Damn." And I was like, okay.
I think it's one of those like like you get like something happens and like you kind of get like every like the adrenaline.
Yeah,
and like the adrenaline, like every like you can't really react. I feel like once he went back to the locker room or like went back to his hotel room, probably like the weight of the moment probably flushes over, so you show a little bit more emotion, but. Yeah, man. Same with Giannis. I mean, Giannis literally just like straight went and just sat down and just took it all in. Yeah. Like, just mad stoic. Like,
bro, Giannis's resume at 25 is fucking insane, bro.
Okay. Streets are saying he's better than Dirk, John. I just want to let you know. It's not me. Not me. I just saw it on Twitters that they're saying he's better than Dirk.
I think it was, is he better than Dirk, KG, and there was one other person.
Anthony Davis.
I don't think it was Anthony Davis.
No, it was AD. I saw one that said Dirk, KG, and AD. And I was like, he was already better than AD.
Well, AD
he was already better. He was look at even if you compare their individual resumes, he was already better. No, I saw this one.
At the end of the day, he's still he's not my depoy of last year, though.
Look, all I know is I saw this funny ass tweet. It was probably a troll from like one of those NBA accounts. Mm-hmm. It was like, yeah, but I mean, AD never had somebody like Drew Holiday on his team. And it's like, at one point, you're like, wait a second, there's no way somebody actually thinks it's like somebody has to be trolling. Like, you pray to God that somebody is just trolling.
Oh my God. If that's not a troll, that's hilarious.
So, like, we got to get these 14-year-olds off of Twitter, man. But no, I think, his resume is absolutely insane. If he were to retire right now, he's a lock for the Hall of Fame.
Yeah.
Like, which is saying, like, what, he's 25 right now, right? 20, he's got a good,
yes, my Giannis
12 years left.
Who still held out hope is done. Unless he's literally like, unless it comes to contract time and he's just like, well, I won one here already, I might as well go somewhere else.
No, the fact that
he's doing, unless they completely shatter the organization shatters their relationship with him. Which
the scary thing is, he just signed a huge contract.
Yeah.
By the time he's up for another contract, he will still be directly in his prime.
Yeah.
I think he's going to be 29.
Yeah.
When this runs out, 29, 30. Yeah. He's right there. Like, he's still got, he honest to God could have two max contracts left.
2 more. Yeah.
He could.
Chris Paul.
One at 29 and maybe one at 34 or 35 if he's still playing.
No, because it might be a max. That's like a 3-year max.
Like,
you know what I mean?
Hey, and I could definitely see him taking a pay cut at some point, like on his next deal, if he's bringing in, if they need to, pay Middleton or Drew or like somebody else. But it's where you go from here. I don't know where the Suns go. It's a tricky situation because if we're being frank,
go ahead.
If we're being frank, they shouldn't have been here. Like, I get like they were the help. Like, same with Milwaukee. Like, realistically, Milwaukee should have been in the finals. The Suns should not have been in the finals, even if they got, even if you include the Lakers injuries, right?
Mm.
If Kawhi is healthy, the Clippers in the finals right now. Like, that's just there's no way around thinking that Kawhi Leonard is not carrying that Clippers team to the championship,
Absolutely.
series.
The Mavs
But
gave them more fucking trouble.
yeah. So, but with the Suns, it's like, with the Suns, it's like, all right. So you obviously Booker's coming back, right? But you got some interesting role players. Like Cam Payne's a free agent,
I think
and
he's
Cam Payne
though.
impressed a lot of people.
I would like one campaign.
Hey, I wouldn't mind taking a campaign either, especially if Spencer Dinwiddie walks for nothing, which he shouldn't, but that's topic for another day. Campaign's gonna be a free agent. Cam Johnson impressed, so he's gonna come back. Torrey Craig, solid 3-and-D guy, but he might get a bag somewhere else. Not to say a bag, but another team might want. I would like his services. Contender. Yeah, I would like his services on the Nets. Miles Bridges, Jay Crowder should return. I don't see him leaving, but this core, if you really think about it, is not good enough when you compare it to what's going to be healthy coming out of the West next season. Because healthy Lakers with Bron and AD, healthy Nuggets with Jokic and Jamal. I don't even want to put it in ether sphere, but look, Dame is probably. I think Dame is staying in the West, even if he's not important. He's staying in the West. So whatever team he goes to, that team, right? You still got the Mavs, right? Because I think the Mavs probably could have given the Suns trouble, if they matched up in the playoffs.
I don't think DeAndre Ayton played aggressively enough to deal with, like, that's our biggest weak point is our big, right? DeAndre Ayton's a pretty polished big, but he's not the strongest big out there. And that's usually our issues is our five. He's get bullied. So I think we probably would have gave him some issues.
Yeah. Like, what do you Warriors will be healthy. Steph and Clay, Draymond, whoever else they bring in.
Steph, Clay, maybe Dame.
Exactly, right? Maybe Dame. You got the Grizzlies are up and coming, but they're right there. They got a nice young core. So
Chris Paul, I honestly think the Suns are.
Like, if I was Chris Paul, I'm going to LA.
The Grizzlies. Honestly,
like if I'm Chris Paul, I'm going to LA. Free agent, I'm going to LA. I'm going with Bron. Yeah, go with Bron. Go with AD. Go win.
Yeah,
Bron already got one of your Banana Boat crew bros. Some rings. Well, actually, no, he didn't get it because Wade already had a championship, but he already played with one. Go play. Get Melo in the offseason. Let's go. Look, there's a lot of options here. The Suns are a nice story, nice Cinderella story, if you will. Like you said, I think you were the one that said it like all the months before the NBA season started. Like, them being as high as they were was a surprise. You had them as a middle of the pack Western team, and that's probably where they will be next season, barring teams come back healthy. So
without Chris Paul, they're struggling to get a 8 seed
unless they bring in, all right.
But my thing is, if they lose Chris Paul, who's gonna want to go? The free agent class is not strong.
Hypothetically speaking, if they would have figured out a deal with Dame, and you had Dame and Book, where would that put the Suns? Well, granted, you still had Ayton as well. So if you had Ayton, Book, and Dame, would that move the needle enough for you to put them in the upper echelons of West teams, or would they still be kind of middling?
I think with that, they're 4 or 5.
4 or 5.
Just because Dame is that great, but at the same time, like Dame can pass. Don't get me wrong, but he is not a full facilitator, and that's what Devin Booker needs to play with. He needs to play with someone who's a facilitator. People might try to do like, oh well, CJ doesn't facilitate, and I'm like, CJ facilitates when Dame's on the bench, and also like he's not the offensive player that Book is.
Yeah.
Booker needs to play with a facility. He either needs to play with a dominant big or facilitator, and then you get like a role player that facilitates. You know what I mean? Like if you
can't like campaign. I thought the minutes that campaign played
hard to the rim, right?
Yes.
If DeAndre Ayton really comes in to become like a dominant center, you know who would fit great on the Suns? Ricky Rubio.
The Rubios.
He will facilitate. He'll play defense. He will attack the basket, creating opportunities for your shooters.
I'll do one better. I think Spencer Dinwiddie would do wonders on this team.
Yeah. But you also need some defense.
He's solid. Hey, he's 6'4", something like that, 6'5".
Yeah,
Big
but coming
guard.
off this injury, he might be a little bit lazier on the other end. You know what I mean?
Hey, he's Iron Man. All right, I trust him. Also, I wouldn't put it past if Paul walks. I think the Suns should go out and get what do you call it, Lowry. I'm not saying it's a needle mover, but at least you get your facilitator and someone that will play defense at the
I
point
don't
guard
think Kyle
position.
Lowry does that though.
What,
I
play
think Kyle
defense?
Lowry is smart enough to know that they're not making
Oh,
contending, even if he
so
can.
you think he's at the point where he's just going to go to a team that literally just needs him to win a chip, like they're a point guard or some way?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people have have said like that he's on the Mavs radar, and I feel like
Mhm.
the only reason if I'm Kyle Lowry, I can look at being on the Mavs radar is they might sign me to more than a 1 year deal, and I'm playing with a generational talent.
Yeah.
Like that's the only. Other than that, it should be those top teams. It should be Lakers. Um, not really the Nets.
No, because that's a good like Lowry wouldn't
Yeah,
fit on
pretty
this
much
because
just the Lakers. I think it should be Lakers Mavs. Like that's about it.
Kyle Lowry to the Knicks.
Um,
I mean, it makes low key for some reason it makes sense because if he's looking for a multi-year deal,
yeah.
look, the Knicks can if they have Lowry, they could contend for around the same spot that they were in between
If
that
they
4 and 6
Lowry, they
range.
can. Yeah,
They could contend for that 4 and 6 range. That would probably be a 5 or a 6, but they'd still be where they are. You have a guy with loads of playoff experience. I mean, he's an NBA champion, loads of playoff experience. You
yeah,
could
and he's
probably get
getting
out
to
the first
mentor your
round.
young guards.
Yeah, you could probably get out the first round, depending on who you match up with,
Yeah,
if you had Lowry on your team. Because then it also takes away all the pressure from Julius Randle and RJ Barrett, right? And
yeah.
he's that New York grit or whatever. So
My thing is just like you said, if you're the Suns, like if I'm Chris Paul, I don't resign. Even though a lot of people are like, why wouldn't he resign? He forced his way to the Suns. He wanted to be there. Things like that, right? But after the way the season ends, if I'm Chris Paul, I don't resign. And then at that point, like the Suns are back to how they were the year before, because this free agent this free agent class is weak. Most of the people are signed
but
already. We
a
don't
bunch
know
of
what
it's
Kawhi is going to do, but the
yeah.
probability of him leaving is really low, and the probability of him going to the Suns is even lower.
There are no franchise altering free agents in this class, but what there are what there are a bunch of guys that can fill roles for teams that can attribute to winning. Now, where they go to help these teams, that's the question. But you know what you have your DeMar DeRozans, your Rudy Gays, your campaigns, your Nerlens Noels, you know, what do you call your Rashawn Holmes, like
Mike
guys that are
Conley.
not going to move. They're not going to, turn your franchise from a loser to a contender, but they will add and help your team on its journey.
I'll tell you what, if I'm the Suns and Chris Paul walks, if I can get Mike Conley, which I think he resigns,
Mm.
if I can get Mike Conley, I get Mike Conley. Or did he resign already?
No, not yet.
Okay. Um, I think who else? Who else would be a good fit?
You know what's interesting is what do you call it? There was a one of my buddies that writes for the net that covers the Nets. He had an interesting trade proposal for if Conley does walk from the Jazz, sign and trade, send Dinwiddie to Utah for Joe Ingles and Bogdanovich,
Wow.
and then probably send over like a trade. Then probably send over like a draft pick or something like that as well.
I just think Utah likes Ingles too much.
I think so. He is the Utah. He is like aside from Donovan and Rudy, that is the third most loved Utah Jazz player.
I think Devontae Graham might be a good pickup for the Suns.
I like Devontae Graham. The only problem with Devontae is he's not that facilitating guard. He's more of a scoring type, which is kind of why he lost all those minutes to not only. I mean, obviously obviously LaMelo was going to at some point take over that starting role, but he really lost it to Terry Rozier.
Well, that's
Terry
their
Rozier,
big free agent signing. Terry, he was playing with Terry before LaMelo, and then Terry's getting paid a lot of money. He needs to be playing. You know what I mean?
But Devontae took a step. I think Devontae took a step back.
Yeah,
But I would say
Devontae.
because even in the minutes that Devontae was playing, because Rozier, I think he was hurt for a little bit this season.
Yeah, but then
Devontae
Malik
wasn't.
Monk stepped up.
Well, you can't keep letting others outshine you, man.
Oh, for sure. I mean,
But I think Devontae's a nice scoring guard, but I think you need a facility. It'd be like a very watered down Dame Lillard. Like, he can pass, but he's not going to run the offense the way you need him to, especially paired up alongside a scorer like Book.
you talk about DeMar DeRozan. I think he should go to LA if they don't sign Chris Paul, hometown team. But if he doesn't, I would like a DeMar DeRozan.
Hey, what about a TJ McConnell for the Suns? Solid guy. He's not a star guard, but he's a starting caliber guard who runs an offense.
If TJ McConnell goes to the Suns, DeAndre Ayton needs to take a leap.
No, I think he will. I think TJ, I know plays mainly backup minutes right now, obviously because he's behind Malcolm Brogdon. But every team that TJ's been on, every roster he's been
Brunson, same shit. Like they're starting caliber guards.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's not to say that he's the answer, but if you need a facilitator that's not going to cost a lot of money, and you can also use that other money to fill some holes, why not? Like I would take a DeMar DeRozan over Mikal Bridges right now. If you get some extra scoring out there, I mean,
together. They have to play together. But DeMar DeRozan still has things to offer to a team.
He does. Same with I would say same with Rudy Gay. Not as much as what we used to think Rudy Gay is, but I thought he played a very, very good role.
Honestly,
with
Rudy
this
Gay
Spurs
would be a great
team.
fit for the Nets.
He would be. But only if we lose
Jeff Green.
If we lose like Blake or Jeff Green, I would say yeah.
I mean, what do you think about Blake?
I think he said he wants to come back. He's still getting paid by the Pistons. That
he just raised his value up a little bit though.
Oh, but yeah. But I think at this point he sees the writing on the wall of like, all right, his career is, getting towards the twilight of it, right? He's on the other side of 30. How many more times are you going to get a chance to play with 3 all-time greats and arguably be the favorites to win the championship? I mean, I don't think it's a hot take to say that the Nets healthy going into next year should be in the NBA finals. But yeah, healthy KD, healthy Kyrie, healthy Harden. You saw what these guys did in the limited amount of minutes
that surround those 3 people. The issue is healthy or not words that surround those 3 people.
I know, and it's hard, but
if you can, not a word that surrounds Blake Griffin either.
Hey, but if you can manage to get through it, hey, look, man, that is the easiest.
What stops him from taking a vet minimum on the Lakers or the Clippers if Kawhi stays?
For what?
What stops him from taking a vet minimum on the Lakers or the Clippers if Kawhi stays?
Because we're still the favorites.
Yeah, but again, health.
And Brooklyn's cool. Look at our jerseys. We're great. We love him. Blake's not going anywhere. Stop trying to speak this into existence, John. I see what you're doing. It's bullcrap. Look, I have already come to grips with the fact that we might lose one of them. I don't think we're losing both. But if the Nets do lose, I think it's more crushing if the Nets lose Jeff Green than it is if they lose Blake. But that's not saying that I'm okay with Blake leaving, because if Blake leaves, I will be upset as well. But I thought not to say he's a Giannis stopper, but he arguably played the best defense of anybody that played defense on Giannis this series. Not the series, but this playoffs.
Bam didn't get to play defense on Giannis. But yes,
like Bam was right. Like, what do you call it? The Heat, we laud over their defense and their defensive capabilities. Giannis was literally making them look like children.
Yeah, but then again, Trevor Ariza was guarding Giannis, and he's way past.
That's on Spoelstra.
That's what I'm saying.
Keeping
that. Also, it's because Brook was playing so great offensively.
Hell yeah,
Nets legend,
and now he has a ring. It sucks that everybody leaves the Nets. The face of the Nets leaves, and they get rings. J. Kidd left. We didn't leave. We sent him there.
You got an all-star for him.
I mean, Devin Harris, the GOAT. Let's put some respect on the GOAT, Devin Harris, number 34. But what do you call it? Yeah. Kid leaves, championship. RJ leaves, championship. Brooke Lopez leaves, championship. This is bullcrap, man.
Waiting your turn.
When is it going to be our turn? It should have been our turn this year, but KD wants to wear 2 sizes too big. How does that even make any sense? How is his feet not shoe if you're wearing that? The size is that big. Even if you tie them, bro, his legs are like hockey like sticks. It makes no sense,
bro.
Like they were doing like a rundown of like how the Bucks got to their championship, and they're showing that Game 7. I'm like, I don't care, like that. It still hurts, but goddamn, that was probably one of the greatest shots I ever seen.
Oh man, that was rough.
Turn around, 20. The 3-pointer is what, 25 feet, something like that.
No, I thought it was like
23. 23. No, because 27-footer is like a few steps behind the 3-point line. I know, like, because Steph has made the thing about 30-footers. What's the NBA 3-point line? 23, 25, something like that.
Let's find out right now.
But I mean, that was like,
from the hoop in the corners is 23 feet 9 inches. But 22 feet at the corners. At the top of the arc is 23 9 inches.
Yeah. So, 23-footer. That was arguably the greatest 23-footer I've ever seen. And I've seen Steph make some amazing 3-pointers, but that was arguably the greatest.
It just sucks because that was everything he had, man.
That was everything I had. I was spent after that. Like, we had this guy Joe Harris missing a wide open 3 with 55 seconds left.
And make sure to follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at StarTubby Sports. You guys can follow me on Twitter at Offended Narwhal. And that's pretty much it.
All right. Follow me on the Twitters, J_Thomas_24. Probably got my last basketball article coming out in a few because I'm just tired.
Fair.
And
right about till football starts, not baseball.
Yeah, I'm gonna say I was gonna take a few weeks off until football, the Jets stuff starts. So, follow us on the TikToks as well. We're out here pushing numbers, but not on the stuff that I actually think would have pushed numbers. But that's besides the point. Later, everybody.
I got ice in my veins. Walk like a champion, champion, champion. I'm so cold-blooded, I fear nobody. Ain't no letting down, I won't let you down. 'Cause I got